I don't really mind the rain. It washes away.
Hi, this is YC. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to show you how to make the old-fashioned sesame candy that's made with the sesame seeds. And if you're new here, I'm YC. I hope you like the recipes on my channel, and please comment, like, and subscribe so that you'll get all my videos. And I make everything from, you know, baking and cooking and this, that, and the other. So I do welcome you back if you are brand new. And this sesame candy is something that I remember when I was a little girl. And I wanted to share a quick story with you. When I was little, my mom would take me to this butcher shop where I was born and raised in Canada. It was called, I believe it was called Schwab's. La Boucherie, it's a butcher shop. And they had these candies in there. Well, they were, you might remember them too. They were like sesame crackers, and they were made out of sesame seeds like this, and they were in layers, like I'd say 4 or 5 layers, wrapped up in cellophane with blue wrapping. And that was my treat each time we went to go pick up meat at this delicatessen. And I would see them there, you know, on the corner where the little candy cupboard was. And I just loved them. I would stare at them, and my mom would, and sometimes the butcher would just throw some in the bag. We just loved them. Well, I hadn't seen them after that for years and years and years. And then I had moved to the States, and we have a big warehouse that you can get food, and I saw them in there because it's a place where our local small corner stores go and get their penny any candy, the little candy, you know, and they were in there, and I got some. But when I went to go back to get more, they didn't have them. And then I thought, well, you know, I'll look online. Excuse me. I just finished making a pasta dinner for my family, and I'm very hot. Anyway, so it's expensive to order online. And then the other day I was going through a bunch of recipes that my mom and my meme, you know, grandma had given me, and I found this little book, and the book is dated 1984. Please don't think that's too long ago. That was the year that I graduated from high school. But anyway, it has easy sesame candies in it and a whole bunch of other recipes. Well, I thought I'm going to give it a try because I missed those, and I want my kids to be able to taste what they were like too, you know. And I think they have a version of it now that you can get around Halloween, and if I'm not mistaken, they make it like they put peanut butter or something in it. It's not the same as what I remember in the little sheets of crackers. Okay, but anyway, these are made with light corn syrup. And you know there's light syrup and dark syrup. These particular ones, you can use whatever you have on hand. This is what I'm going to use today. It's from Food Line, and this, don't confuse this with fructose now. This isn't high fructose. This is a corn syrup that they use like in butter tarts and things like that, in baking, you know. It's found in the baking aisle. And excuse me, I have to let my German Shepherd out. Okay, I guess she needed to go out. Okay, and then, so you use this, and then your sesame seeds you can find usually in the Asian cooking or Middle Eastern cooking. I find it in a little Asian shop on the other side of our Army and Air Force base in bulk, great big sack of it. You may not be able to find a big sack of it and may have to get the little jars that you see in the spice section, in which case you would get at least a couple, because you have to use 1 cup of these. And sometimes you don't toast them and sometimes you do. Well, to get that nutty flavor, you want to toast them for 5 minutes at 350. And the reason why I laid them out in a wide pan was so that they could toast evenly. If you toast them in a frying pan like you do walnuts and stuff for cooking and baking, these are not going to go evenly. They're not going to toast evenly because they're so small and you're using so many. So you want a wide space. And so I used like a cake pan to do it and put it in my toaster oven. Okay, so anyway, so you're going to use a 1/2 cup of this, and you're going to use a 1/2 cup of sugar and a couple tablespoons of melted butter. Okay, and you're going to use, if you have a pan that's 8 by 8 by 2 inches, you can use that like a square pan. But because I want my candies a little bit thicker, I'm going to use a loaf pan so that the area around is just, you know, a lot smaller, so that the candy is much higher, is what I'm trying to do. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to get a bowl to mix the stuff in. My same favorite yellow bowl. You know, I always use this little bowl. And I'm going to pour these in it, if I can do it without making a mess. Just go slowly here, because I've already toasted them for 5 minutes in my little toaster oven. Okay, and you want the 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And the recipe years ago from '84 does say Mazola margarine, because you know back then it was a big deal to use margarine, and now everybody kind of uses butter. I just wanted you to be aware of that. Okay, and let's see. I'll get 1/2 cup of sugar. Which is crazy considering you're already using corn syrup, but I didn't say that this was diet. Oh, I am sorry, but it gets warm if I make a pasta dinner. This is South Carolina, so let's see. And then it says a 1/2 cup of this. I hope these turn out, because I remember them, you know, from when I was a little girl. This might take forever. I'm going to take this off if I can. There we go. That's better. I'm waiting all day on this. I hope everybody has been having a good day and everybody's staying safe. It probably didn't help too that I just had a cup of Colombian coffee from Aldi, and their coffee is really good. Life with Mike told me, you got to get it. It's cheaper. It's only 5 something for a great big can, and it's just as good as some of the other Colombians, and he's right. Okay. And of course my 17-year-old, he makes the coffee all the time. Fantastic job. Makes really good coffee, way better than I do. Okay. So we're just going to stir this. Okay, so I'm going to read what it says to you. Well, first of all, it's called Easy Sesame Candies. It is a 1/2 cup of light corn syrup, or you can use dark if you have it. A 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 cup of toasted sesame seeds. And you can use an 8 by 8 by 2 pan, or you can do what I'm doing and just finding one that has the smallest surface area. And in a 1-quart saucepan, you can stir these together, the first 3 ingredients. But I melted my butter in the toaster oven because it was already hot, you know what I mean. And Yep. And then you stir in the sesame seeds and you spread evenly in the bottom of the pan, and you cool and remove from pan and break into pieces. And it makes 3/4 of a pound. So that's really interesting that it makes that much. And I imagine you could cut it into small pieces and wrap them in, like just like candy, in wax paper if you wanted. That was my husband's suggestion to do that, because he does have some wax paper. Because like he does stuff, like he uses, like he builds airplanes and stuff like that. I don't always keep that on hand. I use saran wrap and foil. That's about it. I may have to put this in a saucepan and heat it up again. I don't know. I'm just going to try to work with it like it is, because I've already toasted the seeds, you know, and I heated the butter already. Whew. I have a lot of old-fashioned recipes like that, but that one caught my attention because I remember that candy when I was a little girl. I call it candy, but they sold it as, they called it sesame crackers up in Canada, and it was, I used to pry off each layer and eat it like a cracker, but it tasted like candy. It was candied sesame seeds. And when you get your sesame seeds, store them in an airtight jar, and because after you toast them, they only last a couple weeks in a container outside the fridge. You know, so in the fridge they would last a lot longer. I found them in an Asian market, but this is really something that comes from, it was originated, from what I read, it's Turkish. It originated in Turkey, and it's used in Middle Eastern foods like candy. It's the official candy of Beirut, but it's used, you know, on like vegetable dishes and meat dishes and sushi and stuff like that in Asian cooking. You know, sesame chicken and all that kind of thing. So, yep. And I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in the bottom of this now, and then it says to cool, so I'm gonna stick it in the refrigerator. And then what I can do is I will cut the candy up and take a picture of it for you to see at the end of my video. But I wanted to share that story with you on why that particular recipe out of this book caught my attention, because I remember sesame candy crackers when I was a little girl. And if you've ever heard of them, or you've not heard of them, let me know in the comment section. Okay. Alright. And that's it. It's a very short video tonight, and I'll be coming back to you with a lot more videos, and I hope that you come by and see me, and I hope everybody has a great night. Bye-bye.